The velvet rope parted as I stepped into the glittering atrium of the Hawthorne Grand Hotel. My simple black sheath dress blending into the shadows while everyone else sparkled like diamonds under the massive chandeliers. I'd come for the annual Heartland Foundation Gala, a black tie affair raising funds for children's hospitals, something close to my heart, though no one in my family knew that. The invitation had arrived via my firm's charitable arm, and I'd accepted quietly, hoping for an evening of meaningful conversations amid the opulence. But peace was never on the menu when blood ties turned toxic. There she was, my sister Lydia, perched near the grand staircase like a queen on her throne, her emerald gown hugging her figure, dripping with sequins that caught the light like fireflies. Her laughter rang out, sharp and performative, as she chatted with her entourage, 3 women from her exclusive book club, all clutching crystal flutes of bubbly. Our eyes met, and her smile froze into something predatory. "Emily, what in God's name are you doing here?" Her voice sliced through the soft jazz quartet's melody, drawing heads our way. I kept my composure, adjusting my clutch. "Hello, Lydia. I was invited." "Invited?" she scoffed, loud enough to echo off the marble floors. Her friends exchanged glances, smirking behind manicured hands. "By who? The valet service?" The giggles erupted, and I felt the familiar sting. But I held my ground. This wasn't new. Lydia had always positioned herself as the golden child, the one who married into old money and floated through life on a cloud of privilege. Our mother, Vivian, materialized from the crowd, her pearl necklace gleaming against her crimson dress, her face a mask of refined horror. "Emily, darling, this must be some mistake." Lydia jumped in, her tone venomous. "No mistake, Mom. She's crashing. Look at her. Off-the-rack dress. No jewelry. This is a $10,000 a seat event. Emily, do you even grasp what that means?" I did grasp it. Intimately. Having structured the ticket pricing myself when the foundation board consulted my team. But I said nothing, letting the tension build like a storm gathering force. Vivian placed a hand on Lydia's arm, but her eyes bored into me. "Sweetheart, this gala is for serious philanthropists, industry leaders. It's not." "Well, it's not for just anyone." The implication hung heavy. "Not for you? The supposed failure. The one who chose a regular job over the spotlight." Lydia warmed to the attack. "Exactly. Do you see who's here? Tech moguls, Wall Street titans, even a senator or 2. These are people with real power, real connections. You showing up like this? It's embarrassing us." A small cluster formed around us, curious onlookers. Some I recognized from board meetings, others from investment circles. Phones glinted subtly, capturing the drama. I pulled my invitation from my purse, gold embossed and legitimate. "Here. See for yourself." Lydia snatched it, scrutinizing it like evidence in a trial. "Looks real enough. But come on. Someone must have pitted you, or slipped up. This isn't your scene, Emily. The Hawthorne is elite. Memberships start at $150,000 a year, with a 5-year waitlist. You don't fit." Vivian's pitying gaze made my stomach twist. "We love you, dear. But reality is reality." Lydia's husband, Marcus, runs a hedge fund. I'm on 3 charity boards. We've earned our place here. Marcus appeared then, his tuxedo impeccable, but his face clouded with discomfort. "Lydia, maybe tone it down. This is getting public." She waved him off. "No. She needs to hear it. Emily's always been the dreamer, thinking she can play in our league. It's sad." "Really?" The hotel's general manager, Robert Klein, approached with measured steps, his expression diplomatic. Is there an issue? Ladies. Lydia pounced.
Yes.
This woman, my sister, doesn't belong. I don't know how she snuck in, but escort her out now. Vivian nodded. Apologetic. We're members here. Robert. 15 years. This is awkward. But she must go. Robert glanced at me. MS. Carter. Is your invitation in order? Absolutely, I replied evenly. Lydia's voice rose. Invitation or not. She's out of place. Look around, this is for winners.
Not.
Whatever you are. The crowd swelled. Whispers buzzing like bees. Marcus tugged at her sleeve. People are staring. Let them see we don't tolerate pretenders. Even family. She turned to Robert. I demand to speak to the owner. Get them here now. My pulse quickened, but I stayed silent, the pressure coiling inside me. Robert hesitated. Are you sure? Yes. Lydia snapped. Or I'll have your job. He nodded, pulling out his phone for a quick call. The owner will arrive shortly. Lydia smirked triumphantly. Finally. Someone who gets it. Vivian squeezed her hand. Good call.
Dear.
Emily needs to learn boundaries. As we waited, Lydia's barbs flew unchecked. You've always been jealous, haven't you? Of my life, my marriage, my success. Parading around here like you matter, it's delusional. The hurt burrowed deep. But I focused on the rhythm of my breath, the slow build toward the inevitable release. More staff arrived. Elena Vargas, the operations director, DR. Samuel Lee, board chair, and Patricia Hale, legal advisor. They nodded subtly to me, and I acknowledged them with a faint smile. What's the problem? Elena asked. Robert explained. MS. Reynolds requests the owner regarding a guest list error. Lydia exploded. Error? My sister's a fraud here. Remove her. Vivian chimed in. We apologize for the scene, but standards matter. The Hawthorne's reputation is at stake. Samuel's eyebrow arched. And you want the owner to handle this? Immediately, Lydia demanded. Patricia cleared her throat. The owner is already present. Confusion rippled through Lydia's face. Where? Elena smiled faintly. You've been addressing her concerns for the last 10 minutes. The atrium fell hushed, the jazz fading into oblivion. Lydia blinked. What? Robert turned to me, his voice formal. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce Emily Carter, sole proprietor of the Hawthorne Grand Hotel and the entire Hawthorne Hospitality Group, encompassing this hotel, 3 sister properties, and over 500,000 square feet of premium real estate across the city. The color leached from Lydia's cheeks, Vivian's jaw unhinging in disbelief. Impossible, Lydia whispered. Samuel pulled up documents on his tablet. MS. Carter acquired the portfolio through Carter Ventures 2 years ago. She's overseen every renovation, every event, including tonight's gala. Vivian stammered. But she's what? Patricia pressed. Accomplished? Influential? Yes. All that and more. Carter Ventures manages over $1 billion in assets. Lydia's world crumbled. You've been rich and said nothing. You never asked, I said softly. Assumed I was scraping by because I drive a sensible car, wear practical clothes. But I've built this quietly, on my terms. Marcus's eyes widened in respect, but Lydia's denial cracked. The revelation hung, heavy and electric, as the truth began to sink in. The shockwave rippled outward, the crowd's murmurs swelling like a tide. Lydia's emerald gown suddenly seemed too tight, her posture crumbling under the weight of her own words. Vivian clutched her pearls, her refined facade shattering into fragments of regret and horror. Emily.
How?
When? Her voice was a threadbare whisper, barely audible over the clink of distant glasses. I've been in venture capital for over a decade, I explained, my tone steady, though inside emotions churned, a mix of vindication and sorrow. Started as an analyst, learned the ropes, took risks that paid off. Founded Carter Ventures 5 years ago. The Hawthorne Group was undervalued, ripe for turnaround. I saw the potential, raised the funds, and made the buy. Simple as that. But nothing about this moment felt simple. The years of slights, the dismissed invitations to family gatherings because I wouldn't fit in, the backhanded comments about my humble life, it all boiled beneath the surface. Ready to erupt. Lydia's eyes darted wildly. You less think. You are nothing. Driving that old Toyota. Living in that modest condo. Why hide it? Her accusation carried a note of betrayal, as if my success was a personal affront. I didn't hide. I countered gently. You assumed. And I let you. Because true worth isn't about flash. It's about impact, quiet investments in startups that create jobs. Properties like this that host events for good causes. Marcus stepped forward, his face a canvas of awe. Emily.
I
Had no idea. This is incredible. But Lydia shot him a glare that could wilt steel. Don't congratulate her. This is a setup. A joke. Elena shook her head. No joke. Here's the deed transfer. She extended her tablet. Legal documents glowing on the screen. Vivian peered at them, her hands trembling. 2 years. You've owned all this for 2 years? The crowd pressed closer. A sea of tuxedos and gowns. Their fascination palpable. Whispers evolved into open chatter. Did you hear? She's the owner. They tried to kick her out. Phones captured every angle. The drama destined for tomorrow's social feeds. Patricia added. Everything's ironclad. Emily's decisions have transformed this place. Record profits. Community outreach. Tonight's gala? Her initiative. Lydia's composure fractured further. Tears welling despite her iron will. We didn't know. If we'd known. Known what? I pressed, the tension coiling tighter. That I had money? Power? Would that have made me worthy of basic respect? The question landed like a thunderclap, silencing her. Vivian interjected. Desperate. Emily. Please. We're family. This misunderstanding. My voice rose just enough to command the room. The slow burn igniting. You called me an embarrassment. Demanded I be thrown out of my own hotel. Said I didn't belong in your world. That's not a slip, it's how you've always seen me. The hurt poured out. Raw and unfiltered. Years of being the overlooked sibling. The one who didn't marry wealth or chase status. Lydia had the fairy tale wedding. The Hamptons vacations. Vivian. The society luncheons.
Me?
I built empires in silence. Robert cleared his throat. MS. Carter. How shall we proceed? The power shift was electric. Now they awaited my verdict. Lydia's panic flashed. Emily. Don't. We're sorry. Vivian pleaded. Think of the family. But I remembered every holiday dinner where they'd probe my little job, every time they'd exclude me from exclusive events. The damming had held long enough. Now came the flood. According to hotel policy, I said, drawing from the bylaws I'd penned, members or guests creating disturbances face suspension. Verbal harassment. Public scenes, that qualifies. Samuel nodded. Board approved. Hostile environments aren't tolerated. Lydia gasped. Suspension? But the spring soiree? The investor dinners. Everything happens here. Exactly, I replied. You wanted someone removed for not belonging.
Now.
Experience it yourselves. Vivian's face crumpled. Emily, 6 months? A year? What will our friends say? They'll say actions have repercussions, I said, the words heavy with finality. Your memberships are suspended for 9 months. Effective now. No access. No events. No committees. Lydia's tears spilled. 9 months? You're ruining us. Our whole life is tied to this place, connections, status. Her voice broke. The arrogance stripped away, revealing vulnerability I'd rarely seen. Marcus touched her shoulder. Lydia, we deserved this. She shrugged him off.
No.
She's being cruel. Cruel, I echoed. You humiliated me publicly, thinking I was beneath you. If I were truly struggling, would you apologize? Or just laugh it off? The moral weight hung, unanswered. Elena signaled security. MS. Reynolds. Mrs. Carter. Please collect your things. As they moved toward the coat room, the crowd parted like the Red Sea, eyes following their retreat. Vivian paused, turning back with glistening eyes. I never wanted to hurt you like this. But you did, I said softly. And only now, facing loss, do you care? She flinched, then followed Lydia, Marcus trailing with a nod of reluctant understanding. The atrium buzzed anew, the orchestra resuming as if on cue. Samuel approached. Handled with class. Emily, the board backs you fully. I exhaled, the adrenaline fading into exhaustion. I didn't want drama, but sometimes it's forced. Patricia smiled. Wise choice, long enough for reflection. Not permanent exile. As guests dispersed, a senator I'd invested with clapped my shoulder. Impressive portfolio. MS. Carter. Let's talk expansions. I nodded, slipping back into my role, but the emotional residue lingered. The night continued speeches, auctions, toasts, but my mind replayed the confrontation, the raw exposure of family fractures. Later, as the gala hummed on, I found myself at the head table, flanked by donors and executives, the crystal centerpieces reflecting the room's golden glow. The auctioneer called bids for a Caribbean getaway, voices rising in competitive cheer. But my thoughts drifted back to Lydia's shattered expression, Vivian's pleading gaze. Had I been too harsh? The 9-month suspension would ripple through their lives. Missed galas, whispered rumors, social calendars in tatters. Yet, their words echoed. You don't belong. Embarrassing us. The pain was fresh, a reminder that family bonds could cut deepest. A board member, Dr.
Lee, leaned in.
Emily, that was masterful. You've elevated this hotel, bookings up 40% since your takeover. I smiled faintly. Team effort. But tonight. Complicated. He nodded. Family dynamics are messy. Still. You set a precedent. Respect over status. His words soothed, but doubt gnawed. Power felt double-edged. Wielding it brought justice, yet echoed their arrogance. As dessert arrived, decadent chocolate torts dusted with gold leaf, my phone vibrated discreetly. A text from an unknown number. This is Marcus. Got your contact from the directory. Respect how you stood tall tonight. Lydia's processing. Hard, but needed. Apologies for my silence earlier. I stared, fingers hovering. Marcus had always been the polite buffer, never joining the barbs, but never defending either. Thank you, I replied. Hope it leads to growth. The evening wound down. Guests mingling on the terrace overlooking the city skyline, lights twinkling like distant stars. Elena found me there, breeze ruffling my dress. Suspension paperwork's drafted. Board meets tomorrow, routine approval. Good, I said. Make it clear. It's about conduct, not personal vendetta. She paused. You're kinder than most in your position. They tried to erase you. Erasing them back makes me know better, I murmured. The moral quandary tugged. Was mercy weakness? Or strength? Driving home in my unassuming sedan. The cities hum a lullaby. I reflected on the path that led here. College on scholarships. Late nights poring over market analyses. First big win flipping a startup, each step deliberate. Away from the spotlight my family craved. They'd seen my choices as failures. No lavish wedding. No country club brags. But success,
To me,
was freedom, building without needing applause. Home was a cozy brownstone in a quiet neighborhood, bookshelves lining walls, a far cry from Lydia's sprawling estate. I poured tea, sinking into an armchair. The night's adrenaline crashing. What if they didn't learn? What if resentment festered? Widening the rift? The phone rang. Vivian. I let it voicemail. Emily.
please call. We need to talk.
I'm proud. Really? Just shocked. Proud now. I thought bitterly. Conditional love. Unlocked by wealth. Sleep came fitfully. Dreams replaying the atrium showdown. Morning brought clarity and fallout. Emails from associates. Heard about last night. Brilliant reveal. Social media buzzed subtly. Veiled posts about family drama at Hawthorne. Lydia's circle would spin narratives, painting me as the villainous tycoon. But truth had witnesses. At the office, my team greeted me with knowing smiles. Boss. Words out. You owned that gala. Literally. Laughter eased the tension. Carter Ventures hummed. Analysts crunching data. Calls with entrepreneurs. This was my world. Impactful. Unpretentious. A call from Robert. MS. Carter. Memberships processed. They left quietly last night. Any issues?
None.
Though MS. Reynolds looked. Humbled. Weeks blurred. Board approvals sailed through. The suspension sticking. Lydia texted sporadically. First offensive. This is unfair. Then softer. Can we meet? I agreed to coffee. Neutral ground. She arrived subdued. No designer armor. Just jeans and regret. Emily. I was awful. Assumed so much.
Tears came.
Seeing you there,
Composed.
it shattered my illusions. Vivian joined later, hugging tentatively. We missed who you really are. Reconciliation tentative, laced with awkwardness. But doubt lingered. Was change genuine? Or survival?
Time would test.
The Hawthorne thrived. New events. Expansions. I attended quietly. No fanfare. Proving belonging wasn't about show, but substance. Months into the suspension, the Hawthorne Spring Gala approached, invitations flooding in without Lydia or Vivian's names. Whispers in elite circles painted the story as legend, the underdog owner flipping the script on snobbery. I overheard at a networking lunch. Heard the Reynolds sister tried to boot her own kin. Turns out she owns the joint. Laughter followed. But it stung. Family reduced to gossip fodder. Lydia's outreach intensified. Calls. Emails pleading reinstatement. Emily. The isolation. It's eye-opening. I volunteered at shelters. Seen real struggles. Vivian echoed. We've reflected. Attended therapy, family sessions. Skepticism warred with hope. Marcus mediated. They're changing. Emily. Give a chance. We met at a park. Autumn leaves crunching underfoot. Lydia's eyes, once haughty, held humility. I valued status over people.
You?
Built real legacy. Vivian nodded. Proud now, but should have been always. The board reviewed. Conduct improved. Reports showed no further incidents. Quiet apologies circulating. I voted reinstatement with probation. One chance, I said. They returned tentatively. Lydia volunteering for committees. Vivian hosting inclusive teas. Bonds mended slowly. Dinners where stories flowed without judgment. Laughter genuine. Yet, shadows remained. At a family holiday, old habits surfaced. Lydia's subtle brag about a new yacht. I smiled. Redirecting. Tell me about your volunteering. Growth. Imperfect. The experience reshaped me too, more open about successes. Mentoring young women on quiet power. Carter Ventures expanded. Acquiring a boutique chain. Impact rippling. One evening, overlooking the city from Hawthorne's penthouse, I pondered, does revelation heal? Or merely shift power? Family ties, fragile yet resilient, demanded ongoing work. The central question lingered, in a world of assumptions. How do we see each other's true worth? As the 9 months neared end, anticipation built like a crescendo. The board convened in the Hawthorne's oak-paneled conference room, sunlight filtering through stained glass. Samuel presided. Reynolds and Carter, suspension review. Files detailed. No violations. Letters of remorse. Community service logs. Lydia's. I've learned humility through exclusion. Vivian's. Regret my role in division. Debate ensued. Elena. They caused a scene. Standards matter. Patricia. But growth evident. I spoke last. Reinstate with 6-month probation. Any infraction. Permanent ban. Unanimous. Notification sent. Responses grateful. Lydia's call tearful. Thank you. Emily. Won't waste it. Their return was subdued. First event. A wine tasting. Lydia approached hesitantly. Feels different now, earned. We talked honestly, her therapy insights, my journey's solitude. Hiding success protected me, I admitted. But isolated too. Vivian joined. Sharing vulnerabilities. After your father died, I chased status for security. Pushed you away fearing failure. Revelations bridged gaps. Emotions raw. Family dinners evolved. No hierarchies. Shared stories. Lydia introduced me to her circle as the visionary behind Hawthorne. Pride genuine. Marcus confided, you've inspired her, volunteering board now. Yet, vigilance remained. Old patterns lurked. At a brunch, Vivian's offhand comment on proper attire. Lydia checked her. Mom, that's the thinking that got us suspended. Progress. Professionally, the saga boosted my profile subtly. Articles on quiet billionaires, invitations to speak on empowerment. Carter Ventures launched a fund for women entrepreneurs, channeling the pain into purpose. Socially, I hosted inclusive events at Hawthorne, mixing worlds, tech innovators with artists, breaking silos. Reflecting on that fateful gala, the slow unraveling of assumptions, the explosive truth, it underscored human frailty. Arrogance blinds, empathy illuminates. But the lingering query, when power reverses, does true change follow? Or mere adaptation? In our mended but scarred family, the answer unfolded daily. A testament to resilience amid Mao-Thuan. With reinstatement, life at the Hawthorne pulsed anew, but the undercurrent of that night persisted, a quiet reminder in every polished hallway, every chandelier's gleam. Lydia threw herself into redemption, organizing a charity drive for underprivileged youth. Her enthusiasm infectious. This is what matters, she'd say. Eyes bright. Vivian softened, joining book clubs beyond elite circles. Sharing tales of my brilliant daughter Emily. Family outings, simple picnics. No ostentation. Fostered warmth I'd long craved. Yet, cracks appeared. At a summer barbecue, Lydia's friend quipped about that wild gala story. Laughter ensued, but tension flared. Not funny, Lydia snapped. We were wrong. Defense turned to advocacy. Marcus noted privately. She's your biggest champion now. Growth. Evident. My world expanded. Carter Ventures hit milestones. Acquiring eco-friendly resorts. Blending profit with purpose. Personal life bloomed. A quiet romance with a fellow investor. Drawn to my authenticity. You don't need the spotlight, he said. It's magnetic, but the core mouth one haunted. Society's layers. Family's blind spots. I mentored others facing similar dismissals. Sharing. Assumptions destroy. Curiosity builds. The gala became anecdote in speeches. Stripped of names. A reminder, treat all with dignity. For tables turn. Years later, at another Hawthorne event, Lydia pulled me aside. That night, best worst thing. Force me to see you, really see. Vivian nodded. We're better for it. Healing complete? Not fully, scars remind. The moral echo. In chasing status. What humanity do we lose? And in revelation, what do we gain? The question lingers, inviting reflection on our own hidden depths. As time wove its tapestry, the suspension's shadow faded, but its lessons etched deep. Lydia's transformation deepened. She launched a nonprofit, channeling her network for good, crediting my sister's wake-up call. Vivian traveled, volunteering abroad, returning with humility. Wealth is empty without heart, she'd muse. Family bonds strengthened through trials, holidays filled with laughter, debates on ethics over wine. I shared more, ventures highs and lows, vulnerability fostering trust. Marcus became ally, collaborating on investments. Professionally, Hawthorne evolved, inclusive policies, diverse events. The gala's anniversary brought reflection, same atrium. Now symbol of renewal. Guests mingled, unaware of history, but I felt its pulse. Yet, societal mouth-one persisted. News of class divides, family estrangements. I advocated quietly, funding programs bridging gaps. Personal joy arrived, engagement, a quiet ceremony at Hawthorne, family toasting unity. The original conflict's spirit endured, a cautionary whisper. Arrogance veils truth, empathy reveals. But the enduring question, when we strip away assumptions, who do we become? In our story, the answer was rebirth. But for others, it hangs, provocative, urging self-examination amid life's dramas.